Boy, oh boy, this is a day for Sonatina playing. It's lovely outside. It's in May. Lots of beautiful flowers and trees are blooming. And I'm going to play a Sonatina in F major by Johann Baptiste Vanhal. He lived from 1739 to 1813. And one of my transfer students this year worked on this piece. And so I'm going to discuss with you what I heard when we were working through this piece and how I was able to change his sound as well as his artistic personality so that the piece really sounded classical in style. So in the beginning, he had a habit, my student, of really coming off loudly at the end of each of those phrases, and it's not marked staccato there. So we worked very hard on the dropping and the rolling gesture that is essential for all students. And that's why in succeeding at the piano, I spend a lot of time on that basic touch release, which every student needs to learn so that they can strive to be even more and more advanced. So after a while, my student got the idea of dropping and then rolling forward and off the keys. This took many weeks. Then he forgot all about it and he went back to his old habits. And then we talked about it again. I had him practice it slowly many times in the lesson so that I knew that he would have 6 days of productive practicing at home. Okay, so that was, and it's also just the idea of a nice free arm when the student is rolling forward and off the keys and having to go to the next little motivic pattern. So then this next section, let's make those staccato notes even more pronounced. And the composer wanted to have 2-note slurs, but we don't want them to have a clip at the end of them, right? And we also don't want a long phrase. So again, practicing those 2-note slurs slowly. Both hands and wrist roll forward at the exact same time. And then back to the main theme. Nice, short, and snappy little woodpecker touch releases. Da, 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 da. Okay, and that was tricky right there because of the syncopation. So drop, roll, and then drop, and then roll forward. So this is kind of the horn section, isn't it? So lots of dropping and rolling motion. Feels good to sway back and forth. Nice energetic fingers. And then going into a low drop state so that we can hear the end of the phrase, tapering. And then back to our horn section. And in the second movement, this particular sonatina only has 2 movements. The second movement is an allegretto. It's in 3/8 time. It's marked spiritoso. So the hardest thing, the most challenging aspect of this piece, it was to keep the steady tempo. So do you know where it's very easy to rush? It's right there. And the same thing here. Da, 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 da. Rush. And then we don't have a sense of classical style or beauty. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. What always helps to keep this steady tempo is to think about what physical gestures should be used. So drop, drop, drop. Woodpeckers, steady little woodpeckers. Here I would think of these as long push forwards. So we wait to push off on the third beat. So you notice here, we could do the same thing with pushing forward with our free arm. And this next section, oh, it would be so nice if our students could all connect the top notes. And how do we do that? We have our students play the interval, bring up the finger that does not need to be connected, connect the top voice, again bring up the bottom note that does not need to be connected. But you know what? In this case, I'm going to connect by sliding my thumb to my thumb, but I can also connect the bottom note to the F. So really the only note that's coming up is that first C in the fifth finger. Okay, so that's something to think about while you're teaching this piece. Oh my gosh, that was such an easy place for my student to rush because it's exciting. It's the high point of that whole section, that B section. So how can we get them from not rushing? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. We're going to have them just gently drop 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on every downbeat. So they get the feeling of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And you know what? Oh my gosh, that left hand right there, that could definitely be connected as well. Ah, I should have put a slur over that on the reprint. And if we really want to be symmetrical about it and perfectly clear in playing the classical style, this composer asked for 3 two-note slurs in a row. So let's have our students do that. So what will happen sometimes with some of our students? Right, they'll get faster and faster and they're going to clip at the ends of all of those little phrases, and it just doesn't, it sounds comical and not classical in style. So the last 3 notes of that motive, drop, roll. Nice deep drops and rolls coming off. So that's that nice little Vanhal Sonatina, which is in book 3 of the Sonatina series. So Succeeding with the Masters and the Festival Collection.